what's up, party people? Beez the Chaplain here, and welcome to the channel. This place is all about fun and positive vibes. We've got daily devotions from Monday to Friday in the mornings, and also the occasional gaming and a little bit of fun and laughing on the side. I'm using this platform to build relationships with anyone online across the globe. This channel will also occasionally raise funds that will go to initiatives and programs for a really good cause. So feel free to participate and donate through ongoing competitions. So if you are a gamer and you just wanting to have some fun and you're wanting to meet new people and join a great new community, join the channel. We'll meet up and we'll just have a lot of fun. Peace out and God bless.
Let's do this.
All right. Good morning, everyone, and welcome to Daily Devotion with Beez. I'm your host, Beez the Chaplain. And as my father would say, happy attitude of gratitude day. It is Friday, and we've come to the end of the week. I guess for the people who will be joining me later on in the States, or maybe a couple of you might jump on in a few minutes, happy Thursday day. Or happy Thursday afternoon. I'll see you tomorrow for the Friday. If you want to save this video till Friday morning, feel free to do so. But nah, it's all good. So happy attitude of gratitude day. I'm going to jump straight into my devotion. And the title of today's devotion is titled "By Faith I'm Growing." Now, the reason why is I think this morning I was just having a bit of a chat with myself, just having a chat and just kind of going through what I would say is like evaluation, and just kind of reflection on where I am in my life and how I've been going and how I've been journeying. More of not so much a physical thing in regards to like career and all that kind of stuff, but just in my mind, how if I have kind of changed, if I've changed who I am, if I've changed my character, if I've changed, sorry, my nose is running, if I've changed like any of my values or anything like that. And so the reason why today the topic is called "By Faith I'm Growing" is it's with an attitude of gratitude that I guess I can say that God is working in the background, that God is doing things in the background, helping me change, right? I'm not seeing, there are times where I definitely see that there are things about me in my life that I'm like, no, this is not good. Like, Beez, you need to change. This is bad. This is terrible. My most common example that I use is me in traffic. When I'm in traffic, I'm terrible. I'm a bad person. And that's, I guess, I think I'm the worst person when it comes to traffic. Nothing to joke about because I am terrible, but it's something that I acknowledge and I recognize is something that's an area of my life, a specific area in my life that I definitely need improvement on. I definitely need to be a better, I would say I need to be better in those circumstances when it comes to traffic, because I don't have patience. I'm a bit angry. I get frustrated. I don't have tolerance. And that's where I feel like I can be like all of a sudden the road and traffic cop as well, like telling people that these are the rules and this is how you abide by the rules. And I think there's circumstances where I see, Beez, you need to improve. But today I step forward with an attitude of gratitude to in celebration of what God is doing in the background. I can look back on my life and say, God has brought me far. God has taken me from who I was to who I am. And there has been a refining process. There has been a process of improvement. There have been things where I know God has changed in me. And I'm not saying I've changed in myself, that God in me, the relationship that I have with God has been able to transform me. And that I am grateful for. I'll give you an example. When just most recently, most recently, I'm going to use the one that I use is not, I don't think I've ever been, well, I probably have been, but I don't see that pride has been one of my biggest issues. If I am a proud person, I think I'm glad that I've done it in like a healthy way. Like I'm proud of being Mauritian. I'm proud of, playing for the Minchinbury Jets when I was younger. I'm proud of, being, a chaplain. I'm proud of like those kind of things. But pride as like, I'm too proud to whatever. I don't think I've ever been that person or impacted me. Maybe when it comes to traffic, too proud to admit that I could also be in the wrong. Yeah, that's probably the big one. But one thing that I think I have definitely struggled with is asking for help, not because I'm too proud, but because of the perception of others. I don't want to come across as not knowing, or I don't want to come across as being stupid, or I don't want to come across as, not being as smart as what people thought I was, or in this kind of higher level, letting them down, or changing their attitude towards me. Um, Apparently my daily devotion is not coming up on Facebook for some reason, and that's not good. Thanks for letting me know, Dad. Oh, that's disappointing. I'm gonna have to see what's going on, because on the app. Oh, sorry. On the actual app, it says that I'm live and I'm on Facebook. I'm on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitch. So, that's a bit disappointing. Let me just double check. Yeah, it says on Facebook I'm live. See if you can go to my profile, Dad, because I might be streaming it from my profile. Maybe there's a notification issue that you're not getting. Anyway, so I'll tell you a story, and this is what I mean about this idea that hopefully it kind of makes some sense as to why I'm grateful to God's working in the background, but also why I feel that I've been changed, or I'm changing for the better, and I'm actually appreciative of what God is doing. So this is why I'm grateful this morning. I'm grateful that this whole it's not a pride thing. It's not me too proud to ask questions, or me too proud to do something, but it's the insecurity of feeling inadequate. Um, Yes, that's the one. It's this feeling that it's like you're not smart enough, you don't know what you're doing, you shouldn't be here, you shouldn't be in this, or like just say it's at a lecture, or just say I'm at a workshop or something like that. It was at those times, or maybe I was at work. It was at those times that I was like really worried and insecure, and I was like, I don't want to ask questions, or I don't want to kind of share my thoughts, share my feelings, just in case other people think that I'm not smart, or people that think that I shouldn't be there, or I'm inadequate, and I just had that feeling, so I would be really reluctant. And I really feel and I really appreciate that God has really worked on me because of, I guess, I'll give you an example. This week, you all knew that Luna was sick. Trinlea was sick. I think I fed her wrong, and I think she got real upset stomach, like a lot too much rich food, maybe too much oil or whatever. But yeah, she was throwing up, and like she was feeling very weak, and it seemed like she lost a lot of weight. And today, by the way, when I started talking, doing my devotion, she didn't leave. She's actually still here chilling, but she's asleep. So if she starts snoring, I apologize, but I'm glad that she's asleep. Now the thing is, when she got sick, I realized that I didn't really care of looking of making for her benefit, and for her to be sure that she was healthy and she was okay. I didn't care who I needed to ask. So I was going online. I was looking. If your dog does this, what does this mean? I called the vet. I called Karen, because the last time that Luna got sick, she was the one that was taking care of her because I wasn't there. And so I would make those calls, and I noticed that because Luna was sick, that was the priority. It wasn't that I was, I don't want. I called the vet, and I was asking them questions, and these questions, the vet could have thought that this guy's dumb. This guy shouldn't even have a dog. Why is he asking these dumb questions? But I didn't care, because I wanted to make sure that she was going to be okay. So I'm like, hey, this is what her stool looks like. This is how she's been acting. This is how much water she is. What does this mean? Tell me, what is she going to be okay? Is this kind of thing? And so the funny thing is, like, back in the day when I was worried, oh, what if the vet thinks I'm a bit of an idiot? Or what if Karen thinks that I don't know how to take care of my dog or our dog? And what if, like, I'm glad that those kind of things, like those kind of concerns and those kind of worries, I don't have much anymore. And I don't care because, well, for one, that's my dog, and I'm worried about my dog, and I'm glad that people were giving me advice. People were telling me, oh, this is, don't worry, like don't worry too much because this is how a dog processes, their sickness, right? This is the things to look out for, and I've become more educated on like Luna's health because I wasn't too, it's not proud, I wasn't too insecure to ask questions. And the funny thing is I don't know when there was an exact moment where that changed in me. I don't know. Because I remember that there were times where when I was at work, like, back in Getronics, I would not want my boss to think that I did not ask any questions. I would do the research myself, or I'd go around my boss to make sure I knew what I was doing. Because when he would ask me a question, I would want to respond confidently so he would know that I knew what was going on. And the funny thing is, he knew this. He knew this about me. He was a good boss because not only did he know me, but he actually mentored me. He was he's one of the mentors that I still like really appreciate to this day. And I don't know what's going on. I'm freezing. I'm watching myself on Twitch, and I'm freezing. Good morning, Warden of the Sand. Good to see you today. So, like, just going back to what I was saying, it's like this idea of feeling inadequate or feeling worried of what people might think of me. I don't know where that changed. I don't even know how that changed. And that's how I know that it was God and not me. I wasn't intentional about changing it because the thing is, I wouldn't know I would not know the first place to start, right? I didn't take a specific course. I didn't I didn't do that. And the thing, and what I think is more powerful, or what I'm really grateful for, is that God did that behind my back, right? And it's not because, and I'm grateful for it. I'm grateful that he was doing the work in the background, because if I was really intentional about it, then maybe I would pray for it. Maybe I would fast on it. Maybe I would take a course on it. Maybe I would do, but it seemed like I wasn't doing anything, but something changed in me. Something transformed in me where I'm like, it's not worth it. It's not worth feeling this, it's not worth like crippling myself, crippling my abilities because of what other people might think of me. And there was no like divine revelation. It just seems that in one particular point or journey in my life where I just realized, like, the only way I'm going to develop and the only way I'm going to improve on myself and improve on what I know in me is if I ask questions, and if I humble myself and wanting to learn and not worry about what other people are thinking of me. And so I feel that I've come a long way through that. Because back in the day when I came to work, I would go and tell my boss, I've got it, and then not know and be worried and be always insecure about, I hope he doesn't think that I'm incapable of doing my job. I hope people don't think that like I'm a fraud and I shouldn't be there. I shouldn't be in this role. I'm grateful today that God has kind of changed my mind, and in a way that it's like, one, I realize it's not worth it. It's not worth trying to prove to everyone that you need to be who you are, or you're at a level where you're worthy. Nah. He's like, Beez, the only way you're going to improve is if you ask questions, if you learn, is if you put yourself out there and accept and acknowledge that you don't have all the answers. For me, I'm so grateful because it's such a liberating and freeing thing, because I can be honest with people. I can be transparent with people. And for me, I know that was God because I wasn't intentional about doing that. The Bible passage that I want to kind of highlight today is a very famous one that I think everyone knows, right? And it's, well, I'm not going to make the assumption. I had to look it up. Hebrews chapter 11, verse 1. And it says this: now faith is being sure of what we hope for and certain of what we do not see. I'm going to read that again. Faith is being sure of what we hope for and certain of what we do not see. There's four words that kind of speak to me in this one. Faith is being sure of what we hope for. So there's a certainty in what we hope for, right? There's this certainty and there's this expectancy that we expect it. it's not a wishful thinking. It's not a, no, it's like, I know it's going to happen, and I expect it to happen. It's not if, but when. It's a certainty, and it's this assurance. And then it says, and certain of what we do not see. It's this thing that we don't know. We can't actually pinpoint it. It's something that's happening, and we're just trusting that it's happening. And so for me, like, it's a lot of people use this in understanding God, right? It's like, oh, I'm certain that God exists. There's something that I hope that God has promised me salvation, and I'm certain that He exists, and I'm certain that it's real. And though I cannot see Him, I'm certain of Him. That's great. And I'm glad that people can use it in that context. And I'm pretty sure that that the context because it's in Hebrews, it's about faith and this assurance in faith. What I appreciate is that I can apply it into my life, into what God is doing in the background, right? My faith is telling me that God is transforming me and doing the work in me, and I don't have to control it. I don't have to be on point in every single move that God makes. When He's changing me in the background, or when He's changing me from the inside out, He's performing this transformation in me, and my faith is telling me that God is doing the work, right? As soon and I like this, because my faith also tells me that as soon as I know what's going on, I feel that I need to control it, or I feel I need to judge it, right? Like judge God's progress in what He's doing in my life. No. I feel that if God is doing stuff in the background in my life, if God is helping me transform, if God is building me up, if God is refining me, I need to trust that. And and I'm grateful that I can see evidence of that. I'm not saying, oh, Beez, you are now an awesome person because blah, 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 blah. I'm saying the person that I was back then, this insecure, inadequately feeling person that wouldn't ask questions because he was too scared of what other people would think about him. And like, God has changed that in me. I don't know when, I don't know how, but I'm glad that He has done it. And my faith has told me that that's God, because I was never intentional about doing it for myself, because I wouldn't know where to start. The second thing that I acknowledge is that no one else kind of pinpointed that in me. No one knew my journey, and I guess no one knew that kind of experience that I was going through. So how could it be possible that an external entity would be able to help me in that, right? What I acknowledge is that if it did, it would be because of the work of God, right? It would be because God is saying, I need you to step into Beez's life and show him about confidence, show him about, not feeling this sense of inadequacy, giving him a sense of identity, showing him who I am, and giving him value of Jesus Christ. And if God was working, He'd be working in the background. I love the fact that by faith, I know that I'm being transformed. By faith, that I am growing. I'm grateful today that by faith, God is transforming me, that God is refining me, that God is building me, that God is strengthening me to develop me to be a better person, and to be better. And how my sister said, we were having a chat yesterday with my sister, and it's like God is helping me develop into a better version of myself. And I like that, because the thing is, now this is the crazy thing. If I wanted to do the whole development and refinement in my own strength and in my own power, I would dictate what I would want to improve, because two things. One, I would think that I knew what was wrong with me. And second, I would think that once I reached the level that, okay, I've done enough work on that would be it. No. One, I don't know what's wrong with me. Right? I don't know, because there could be like trauma or things that have happened to me that have impacted me that I don't even know about, right? The mind is a crazy thing, and we are learning more and more and more each day that we are impacted and influenced in so many ways, and things, and we may not address it, and we may not acknowledge it. If I'm saying the only thing that's making me a bad person right now is my performance during traffic, and if I change that, then I'm perfect, that is really weird of me to say. But if that's the only thing that I focus on, and then once I become a better person in traffic, I think that I'm set, that doesn't really help me. That no longer develops me, that no longer refines me, and that no longer gives me an opportunity to be a better person than that after I've hit that benchmark. What I love is that God is working in the background. There's a passage, and it's found in Psalms 139 verse 23-24, right? And it says, search me, O God, and know my heart, know my anxious thoughts, cleanse me and lead me into the way of righteousness, or lead me into the way of everlasting life. The reason why I appreciate that passage, right? And this one is for you, Warden of the Sand. The reason why I appreciate that passage is because, and I'm going to give you, I don't know if you did that activity, Warden, but this is what I appreciate. In that passage, there are about 5 or 6 things that God is required to do, right? That I've given God the responsibility and the accountability to do. There's only one thing that I need to do, and that's to invite God to do those 6 things. That's it. Mine is, God, when I open my mouth to say this as a prayer, God, I need you to search me, know me, find all the things that are leading me away, find all the things that are making me anxious, cleanse me and lead me, right? I'm like, God, search me and do the work in me. I invite you to do the work, and I'm just going to trust that you're going to do that work. I'm just going to have faith that you're going to do that work. Though I might not see it in the moment, but man, I am so grateful that I can see how you're changing me. I can see that you've refined me. I can see that you're developing me. And perhaps, Lord, I thank you that you are preparing me, right? Because it's like, what's that famous saying? I'm not the person that I've been, but I'm glad that I'm not the person that I was. Don't quote me on that one. That one sounds a bit trash, but I like for me, what I appreciate is that God is working in the background. God is changing me in the background, and it's by faith that God has actually helped me in that. It's that assurance. And the reason why it's the faith is because I could not see it, and I didn't acknowledge it, and I wasn't intentional about it. I did not put the work in that area of my life, or in that issue, or that problem, or that challenge that I had about my insecurities. And that I was not intentional about resolving that issue. Like in my insecurity, I was avoiding it like the plague, because I don't know how to address that. But I'm glad that God refined me, changed me, transformed me, and was doing that work in the background. That now that I acknowledge, hey, Beez, you've really improved on that, not because of what you've done, but because of what God has done. And so my faith, vital thing. Oh, can you hear my voice? Sorry. My faith gives me hope that the next thing that God is going to do in me, he's still going to continue to change me. He's still going to refine me. And there'll be times that he'll reveal to me, Beez, today we got to work on this because this is a problem, traffic. Or you in traffic, we got to work on this. But nah, God is saying, look, if I need to do the work, I'll do it in the background. What I need for you, Beez, or from you, Beez, is for you to give me permission to do that. That's what my faith is telling me to do. That's what my trust is in, that God is doing the work in the background. Sure, I've got to do work when God tells me to do the work, but God is doing the work with me and in me and through me and for me. So I guess the challenge for us this morning, or what I want to share as a word of encouragement, is that I'm grateful that I know that God is working in the background in my life. I know that God is changing me, transforming me, helping me, developing me. And I'm aware of that, and I can celebrate that. What I encourage you to do is take this moment, take it as an opportunity to celebrate what God has done in your life. Right? And if you don't know what God has done in your life, pray to him, ask him to reveal to you how far he's brought you. Right? And if that means that you're just constantly, that you're in a place where you can celebrate his grace, that you can celebrate his love, that you can continue to stay and remain connected to him. And even though we stumble and we fall and we sin, that you are still in relationship with God, acknowledge that and celebrate that, because that is God's work. That's what God is doing in the background for us to remain connected to him. Right? I pray that you find a moment and you find an experience where you can recognize what God has done and how God has changed you and refined you and made you better, developed and improved you over this course of a period of time. And I hope that you can celebrate that today, because I'm definitely coming before us with an attitude of gratitude and what God has done in, for, and through me over these years as well. Thank you so much for joining me this morning. I'm going to close in a word of prayer, and then I'm going to read what Warden was saying, because I think he's got some fire. I think he's got a good point coming up. Just give me 2 seconds. Let's close in a word of prayer. Heavenly Father, thank you so much for today and this opportunity that we can come together and celebrate, not only celebrate you, but celebrate what you're doing in our lives, celebrating what you have done in our lives, to better us, to refine us, to develop us, to transform us. Lord, I thank you that we can look at things in our life that though we might not know how, when, why you did it, but you led us through and you've developed us. Lord, I thank you that you've tackled and you've given me victory over my issues of insecurity and inadequacy. And though it's still a work in progress, I'm so glad you brought me this far. I'm so glad that I'm able to ask questions without feeling that people are judging me or people are thinking that I don't deserve or all that stuff. So Lord, and I thank you because I know that it was you. Because it didn't come from anywhere else. I wasn't intentional about it. And so I want to say thank you for doing the work in me. And I pray that you continue to do the work in me. Lord, I also pray that you be with us. Give us opportunities so we can recognize the work that you are doing in us, so we can celebrate what you are doing, what you've done, and what you will continue to do in us. May we build our faith in you. May we build our trust and reliance on you, so we can invite you in more to help build us, develop us, and improve us, so we can be better versions of ourselves as well. Lord, I pray that you continue to bless and guide us and be with us as we wind down this week. I ask this all in your loving name. Amen. I'm going to read what Warden just wrote. To piggyback on that background idea, yesterday during Bible study, the theme was to learn to operate on God's time. I'm trying to keep all of that in order mentally while I wait on him to improve me. Praise the Lord. That is so good. Like I had a friend of mine who was in ministry at the time, and she said she wrote a sermon, and the sermon title was "God's Time is Always on Time." And I was like, yeah, man, it's lucky you say that, because I'm from Mauritius, right? And so we got CPT or Mauritian time. And sometimes I'm like, man, when you say like a barbecue or like a family party, when you say people like, it starts around 3:00, these Mauritian folk ain't going to come until like 7:30 kind of starts. Same with God, right? We expect God to work on our time frame, but God's like, no, I'm gonna do it in my time, and my time is going to. And there's a reason, there's an intention for that time, and it actually, sometimes it's frustrating because maybe in that time God is saying, not only am I helping you with this, but I need to build your patience. I need you to build trust. I need you to build faith during as well. So yeah, 100%. Trusting that God is not only doing the work, but doing it according to his time frame. Like he's like, I'm gonna do the work in this time frame. So whenever I'm ready, and there's always intention around it. Our faith and our hope and our trust is always in this thing that God loves us so much that there's a reason why he does everything that he does, even when it comes to impacting our lives. So thank you so much. Definitely adding value to that message, and adding that point of, it's not our agenda, it's not our time frame, but it's all on God's, and our trust and our hope needs to bank on God, and knowing that he cares for us, he loves us so much, he wants what's best for us. All of this is for us, so we just got to trust that he's going to work in his own time, in his own way, with his own methods. So thank you for adding that, Warden of the Sand. I really appreciate it. Okay, my chair sunk once again, but I'm going to wrap it up here. Thank you so much for joining. Oh my God, can you hear that? Anyway, thank you so much for joining me for another daily devotion. Happy Attitude of Gratitude Friday, Thursday for you, Warden, and everyone else in the States. Thanks for joining me this week. I'll probably be gaming over the next couple of days. It's the weekend for me, so I'm gonna chill, go back to Mass Effect 2, and just have some fun online and just chill out. I hope everyone has a really great Friday. Hope everyone has an awesome weekend as well. And I pray that God reveals himself to you all in a brand new, exciting way, so you can develop and strengthen your trust in him. See you next Monday for another daily devotion with Beez at 7:30 Sydney side of time. In the meantime, stay safe, stay blessed. Peace out. Much love. Have a great weekend. Bye.